We're joined this morning by Paul Stanley, the vocalist, the guitarist, and co-founder of KISS. He joins us now to discuss his latest endeavor, painting. And Paul, thank you for coming in today.
It's exciting to be here, otherwise I wouldn't be up so early.
Yes, exactly. We mentioned this is very early for you, just getting back from California. You know, we've been watching, taking a look at this painting all morning long, and every one of us has said the same thing. It's an amazing painting. How did you get into the business of painting?
Painting came about really for me as a release. About 6 years ago, I was going through some emotional upheaval, and a friend of mine said painting would be a great cathartic experience, and went out and bought canvases. The whole thought of it really resonated with me, and put paint to canvas, and really found it to be a way to release all kinds of emotions that may have been pent up inside. And you know, as a side, you know, we figure that any consumer-driven venture succeeds or fails on connecting and identifying with the market. And I guess I see myself as very much the guy on the street. So I tend to do things that I like, and I figure that there's a large enough market out there of people who will like what I like. So my art is, you know, something that perhaps doesn't need intellectualizing so much. It's something that gets you on an emotional level. You know, I'd hate to think that art is only for the elite few.
Right. Obviously, art world, though, is a very different business world than the ones you've already mastered. Business of music, the business of merchandising. Can't argue with the success you've seen there. What have you found in the art world? Is it a different place?
It really, all worlds are the same, because out of creativity comes business, and a creative mind put to good use will come up with something that's viable to others. So it really isn't any different. You put something out that you believe in, and you make sure that it's well marketed and that it sees as much media attention as possible, and then hopefully people will take to it.
How does painting differ from writing a song, and how much does the KISS brand, the history of KISS, help you in this seemingly unrelated business?
Good question, but you're here to give good questions, so you're obviously a pro at it.
He gives good questions.
Yeah. Well, you know, the two have some connection to it, but the truth is that a song is something that you labor over a long time, and perhaps you, again, intellectualize because you're coming up with lyric, you're coming up with music, whereas art, I believe, can stand on its own just as purely an emotional connection with people. So I tend to purge, you know, take color and find out what's going on inside me at any given time.
Did you guys ever break up and then have to get back together? I don't know, I'm sorry to be ignorant about your pet, but it seems like a good idea for KISS to I'd just stay together instead of the police coming back together. And,
well, not to mention, I mean, every time you guys tour, and you've toured not in the not too recent past,
why break up?
It's like going to the ATM, right? You can make as much money as you want.
Yes, it's legal printing of currency.
Right.
But, you know, you couldn't do that unless you were giving people something in return, because people are not, you know, lining up to give you money unless they're going to get something. People don't go to the market and go home with empty bags unless they, you know, unless they're filled with the groceries that they need.
Is it as much fun now going on the road?
It's huge. It's huge fun because it becomes uncharted waters.
You know, for Born Again, we want to come back as a rock star.
I'm here to tell you.
What would you want to come?
do it again.
What would you want to come back as?
Well,
rock star.
Rock star.
Rock star. You know, work this time.
But I mean, I think, isn't that it? That's the maybe not for girls, but the number one thing.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
The women, the money, the...
Not Warren Buffett, it's rock star.
No. We should mention, you're showing at the Wentworth Galleries in New Jersey. If anyone wants to go see these paintings, this one's called Infinite Solitude.
Correct. List
price, or is there a, how much would this cost?
I'm not here to discuss price.
Okay.
But everything is worth what people are willing to pay, and some people have paid very, very handsomely, which is, I take as a tremendous compliment.
Mr. Stanley, thank you very much for coming in today. We appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here.